Hey guys, alright, today, I know you clicked on the video and you're like, holy crap, that is a long video. I promise it is well worth your while. We're going to talk about concealing under the eyes, drugstore edition. I'm going to talk about 4 different concealers. I'm only going to use 2, don't worry. 4 different concealer recommendations, 3 different eye brightening recommendations, and I'm going to give you kind of like a speed review overview on each of them, and then we are going to also do some powders. So all drugstore. We're gonna talk about everything, and then we're gonna put it on together and we're gonna see what we think. I think it looks good. This is the final look, and it's a different concealer here, different powder, different eye brighteners. So stick around, grab something to drink, grab something to snack on. We're gonna be here for a little bit. I will have timestamps down below. So yeah, hang tight. Let's start this tutorial. Hey guys, alright, so I did a video where I did a creaseless concealer, I guess like high-end edition. Today we are doing the more affordable drugstore edition. I have a couple of honorable mentions here, but I'm going to tell you my 2 favorite concealers that are like, I put them on and I really don't have to worry about creasing. And for reference, in case you're like, you don't know who the hell I am, my name is Anna, and I am 36 years old. I do have my little fine lines. Yes, they're a bit of an insecurity for me, but we all got them. Like I said in the other video, we are extremely expressive as people. So that's it. All right, so I guess let's just jump into it. I'm gonna talk about a couple of correctors / brighteners. Now, really quick, let me just give you a quick breakdown, and I will do a color correcting video in a different video. I feel like that just needs its own little dedicated video. In this video, we're strictly talking about eye brighteners. However, these drugstore, I'm gonna give it to drugstore, they combined both of them. So you're gonna have a tinted color corrector that's also a brightener. You can find that high end for sure, but drugstore definitely did it. Now, because it's a combination, it's not full coverage. So if you are really dealing with like super dark circles, like the raccoon eyes, discoloration, comment down below and I will make a separate video just specifying color correctors. Because typically on the high-end version, you don't find them always to be illuminating. If they're full coverage, they're not usually illuminating. That's just my experience, but whatever. Okay, so let's go into these eye brighteners. I have 3. 2 that I've mentioned in the past that I really do like. One that I love the formula. The color just doesn't work for me, but I wanted to show you if you have those pinky blue under eyes or you're a little more fair, this is a good one. Also, honorable mention that I don't have anymore is the Makeup Revolution one. It's a very good color corrector and it comes in a little pot similar to these. Mine just expired, so I had to get rid of it. I have one here. All right, so first up we are going to talk about, and this is going to be like a speed kind of mention about these. I'm going to go into the tutorial. That's going to be a little bit more in depth. All right, so this one first up is from Lottie London. This is it's an eye brightener. This one is not as pink, but it's like a true salmon but kind of pinky peach color. This is going to be great if you have those blue pink under eye circles. Very creamy, very lightweight. Hang on, all right. Creamy, lightweight. The light is also bouncing off. And it feels hydrating. That's really important when we're putting concealer or correctors under our eyes. This part of your face does not get like hydration or doesn't get like oil or anything like that. So when we're dry, you can see it. Great option. Staying under the color correcting eye brightening umbrella. This baby is amazing. This is from Catrice. I've talked about it. So nice. This one is gonna fall in the same category, like if you're about my skin tone, darker. If your under eye circles are brown purple, you're gonna like this one. See how this one's a little more peachy compared to the Lottie London, and I am purposely putting them over like the little veins that I have in my hand. They don't totally like conceal it, but they do help to cut some of that discoloration. Now the veins on my hands are kind of like a blue-green-ish shade. All right. So that kind of made it like easy. Again, if you want to target some color correcting and some eye brightening, these two are really nice. They have that like glowy finish. I would say that the Catrice one isn't as like luminescent as the Lottie, but it's there. All right, and now this one this is gonna go based on your skin tone. So this is a little bit easier. If you're kind of like, you know what, Anna, I don't know if I need a pink or peach corrector, go to the e.l.f. section. They have really good ones too, so that it just makes it a little bit easier. So this one is from e.l.f. and this is the eye brightener. And this one is in shade light medium. Light medium kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Catrice, maybe a little bit lighter. And I'll put that one next to it too. This is the e.l.f. one. So see how the e.l.f. one, it is peachy and it's a little bit brighter compared to the Catrice one. So that's the difference. And you see, like, if you look really close to my hand, the formula is so like, it's not crazy emollient, but it's hydrating, and that's super, super important. So those are great. All right, on to the concealers. Now, I have two concealers that are like, when I'm thinking drugstore and I'm putting some under eye makeup on and I know that like I'm good for the day, it's not gonna crease, it's not gonna settle in, it's these two guys. The Joah Eye Serum Concealer. This is insane. This is so freaking good. And you know I hate these stupid applicators, but this one's really good. It's nice and like it's a little bit fatter, I guess, of an applicator versus like, you know, like how what is it? e.l.f. came out with like these wands or whatever, or blushes, like it's so much bigger. So because it's like, you know, it's almost like the size of like the pad of your finger, right? And when you use it and you go to dot it, it blends. Or you could on the back of your hand and kind of do it that way. This one I don't hate. So nice. And then this guy, oh my god, I feel like this is so underrated. People need to talk about it more because it's freaking awesome. This is from Physicians Formula and it's their Butter Glow Concealer. It is so nice. It's a liquid and it glides and it just dries down really nice. The only complaint I have with this is the shade range. It sucks. Honorable mentions, I'm gonna put out here. They're not my favorites, but they're good for coverage, and because they're liquids, they're not gonna sit on the lines as much. And that's gonna be the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I know this is a huge favorite. I think this is great for you're concealing different parts of the face versus like underneath the eyes. It's not bad for underneath the eyes, but I will caution you with a little bit goes a long way. Like a dot. This is like pigmentation is insane with this. The other complaint I have with this one is the shade range I think is worse than this one because of the undertones. So, and then this one, this is a very good one. However, it's pricey. So, and it still falls in drugstore because you can find it at Target and you can find that on Amazon, but it's the Honest Beauty, what is this? The Fresh Flex Concealer. It's a nice foundation, it's a nice concealer. It is pricey though. I'm gonna quickly swatch those three on my hand so I can show you how they kind of sit in like the fine lines, and I'm gonna purposely swatch down here because that's, you know, that's where your hand has the most creases. So I'm gonna go first. Well, here, let me swatch it. I'm gonna speed this up and I'll tell you what I have on the back of my hand. Like I said, the applicator for the Joah one does make a difference. All right, so this is all of them kind of like heavy swatch. Let me blend out. Oh, real quick before I do that. This is the Honest. So to your, I don't know, I think it's your left. Honest, e.l.f., Butter Glow from Physicians Formula, and then the Joah. That's all of them up close. I'm just gonna kind of move my hand so you can see. Now I'm gonna blend them out so you can see how they really sit in the lines. So that's all of them kind of blended out. You can see how they're sitting like in like the texture or like the fine little lines of my skin. So again, the two on the end, This is the Physicians Formula, and then this is the Joah. They just sit the best. And you need less of it too. So that's it. But like I said, I think those 4 are very, very good. I just don't reach for them because I feel like I said, the e.l.f. one is too heavy, and sometimes I don't have the time to sit there and kind of manipulate the formula. All right, and then, like I mentioned in the other video, the other key thing to having a creaseless under eye is you have to set your under eye. Some of these concealers you can get away with not setting, but you still have, like, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole step process to this. All right, 2 powders that I absolutely love from the drugstore. First one is going to be the Maybelline Fit Me. This is a loose finishing powder. Again, remember, finishing powder is going to be lighter, so we want that underneath the eyes. And then this baby right here is absolutely beautiful. I love this one because it has a nice glow. This is from e.l.f. and it's their Halo Setting Powder. I know I have the old packaging. That's okay. All right. So real quick, I have the Maybelline one in light medium 20, and then I have, e.l.f. always throws me off where they're, okay, this one's in medium, which is kind of lighter. So I'm going to just do a nice swatch of those powders on the back of my hand. This is the Maybelline. It feels very, very silky and very like luxe. And then this is the e.l.f. Even though it's medium, it's a little bit brighter. They both have that same, like, it's got to be like silicone or something, but really nice. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to do a little eye brightener under my eye, and we're gonna do a little concealer, and we're gonna set. The other thing too that I want to mention is when you are using these products, when you're working underneath the eye, you really need to, like, less is more. Like, that's got to get ingrained into your mind. Don't think that because you're so dark or whatever, you need to just keep packing it on, packing it on. That's how we get creases. That's how we get too much product under our eyes, and we do not want that. All right. I'm gonna do a little eye brightening underneath my eye. I'm not gonna use the Lottie London because it doesn't work for my skin tone. I do like to have it on hand for swatching and for videos like this. All right. On this side, we're gonna do the e.l.f. I took out too much, but I just want to show you what I do. I always take out a bit and I warm it up on the back of my hand, and I want to shear it down. That's the whole thing that I mean, like when I'm saying you got a little bit, less is more, that's what you want to do. And essentially I'm going to use my ring finger to just apply this. And with these kind of products, you really want to get the inner corner of the eye. That's always where like the dark shadows kind of sit. See how when I put that on, it has a little bounce to it, but because it's pigmented, it's not full coverage, but it's, you know, it's pigmented, it's gonna help to just cut some of that dark. I mentioned this in the other video, some people like to put primer under their eyes. You can do that if you want to do that. I don't like to do that because honestly, it's just an extra step that I don't want to do. And number 2, I find at my age, the more I layer stuff on, the more things are visible. And I'm trying, that's kind of like counterintuitive or counterproductive to this whole process. That's the e.l.f. one. Very light, very moisturizing. Quick note, I think you can, like, if you use eye cream, use less of it. You can even skip it, I think, because it's very moisturizing. On this side, we're gonna do the Catrice one. So like I said, the Catrice one does have a little more coverage, I think, and it's not as like glowy as the e.l.f. one. Same thing, I scoop out a little bit, I warm it up on the back of my hand, like I shear it down. Like that's like my little trick, even when I'm doing makeup on people, just to, you wanna do little layers. All right, so I'm taking this, and I'm gonna pat this along underneath. Because this one is more pigmented, you really wanna keep this to where you have the dark circles. Don't put this everywhere because it's gonna make certain parts of your face look more orange. Like for me, because I took it down just a little bit here, it just made my face look a little more orange. That's the whole thing with correctors too. You just put them where you need them. So see how this one, it cut and it brightened. This one slightly cut, but it brightened. It gives that illuminating, like the light bounces off. That's what we want. This one, you can go directly and just pop it on the eye, Or like I said, you can kind of just dot it on the back of your hand. So I'm gonna go in with the Joah on this side. I do like to check on the back of my hand though to see how much product is coming out. See? That's all you need. All right, and I'm gonna take my finger. The reason I'm not gonna use the applicator is because I definitely screwed out a little bit too much, and then we're gonna get too much of a thick layer. This formula is really nice. It's very lightweight. It's very hydrating too because it is like a serum concealer. This is one of those products that I feel like it feels high-end, and it's not. See? Really nice. Okay. And this guy's really good. It does come with this little applicator at the tip. I don't like it. I think it's too rough. It's a little bit too rough. So when you take this out, this one does kind of pull out a lot of product. Again, everything on the back of my hand, you only need a little bit. You really do. Like that's too much right there. But I'm gonna do the same thing. I always do this. Take that. And I'm just patting right over. I just wanted to give you guys like two different, options. I feel like you can find, the Joah you'll find at any CVS, and I feel like, at least in Jersey, there's a lot of CVS's. Like in every town. Some towns even have like 2. And then the Physicians Formula, you could find at Target, Ulta, CV. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to give you guys something that I knew you could find kind of anywhere. I think even Walmart. All right, so see? Now, in my opinion, I think this one has a little more coverage. What do you guys think? That's nice. I like it. All right, now with the setting powders. Setting powders, a little bit goes a long way. Even though it feels thin, it's doing its job. So don't think, oh, I gotta put more, nope, no, you just need a little bit. My favorite kind of brush to use to set though is something like this, and this one's amazing. This one is from e.l.f. It's their small tapered brush. I've mentioned this in the past, but e.l.f. brushes are ridiculously underrated and so good. I like this because it kind of goes into a point, and this tip part here is very flexible. It's not stiff. When you get these, they usually have this little like sticker on them. My advice to you is cut half of it, otherwise you get too much product, and we do not need that much product. Now the e.l.f. one does have like a sifter, and I think the new ones have like a netting. I'm not sure. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna work off what I have on the lid. So I'm gonna take this brush from e.l.f. I'm gonna pick it up. You only need a little bit. Now I'm gonna take this, and again, another makeup artistry trick. I'm pressing the powder into the brush. This is gonna like put it in the bristles, and when we set, it's just gonna make it easier to set. I'm gonna take that, and I'm just going to tap. And you could see that the powder went on because it cut that shine. Now this powder does have a slight little luminous finish to it, which is nice. See? So that is the e.l.f. one. And then this one. This is another e.l.f. blush. This is their blush brush, but I'm gonna use it to set because it has like that, it reminds you of a kitten's paw, but the tip is a little bit more flexible. So I'm gonna take the Maybelline. Now whatever's on this lid is exactly what I'm gonna use. I don't need anything more than that. See? Again, just packing it in there. And this, I like to do like a tap tap, and then you can kind of, so let's take my hair down so you can see everything. I don't know, I always feel like you see everything better when the hair is down, because it's not like totally out of my face. So this is what we are working with. This is what it looks like. Now, the difference between this and what I used like with the NARS was more of a translucent powder. Because these are tinted, they're gonna add a little bit of color. So feel free to go lighter with the powder if you're using it underneath your eyes, or if you're doing it to set certain areas that are brighter. But ultimately, let me just get you in nice and close. This is how you set it. Under eyes look good. They don't look dry, and they're not really creasing, so, well, they're not creasing at all. So that's it. All right, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.